Hi there and welcome to this video on pie charts. First of all, let's start off with a few quick questions to do with interpreting pie charts. Here I have a pie chart that represents 18 people overall. So how many people chose purple? Well, I can see that that's half the pie chart, so that's half the people that's represented by the whole thing. That would be 9. What about if the whole pie chart now represents 50 people? How many people here chose purple? Yes, it's the whole thing. It's all 50 of them. What about if the pie chart represents 42 people? How many people chose pink? Well, here we can see that everybody in the pie chart chose blue, so 0 people chose pink. This pie chart represents 20 people overall. How many people chose green? That's 1/4 of the people, and 1/4 of 20 is 5. This pie chart represents 39 people. How many people chose red? Here that's 1/3 of the pie chart, and 1/3 of 39 is 13. This pie chart represents 22 people. How many people chose grey? That's half of them, 11. This pie chart represents 36 people. How many people chose red? 1/3, and 1/3 of 36 is 12. What about if it has more sections now? The pie chart represents 48 people. How many people chose black? Well, the pie chart is separated into 8 sections, and one section of these are the people who chose black. 1/8 of 48 is 6. What about in this pie chart? It's representing 56 people overall. How many people chose black? This time it's separated into 8ths, and 3/8 of them chose black. 3/8 of 56 is 21. What about this pie chart representing 72 people? How many people chose black here? This time 7/8 of them are choosing black, and 7/8 of 72 is 63. This time I'm not going to tell you how much the whole pie chart is represented, but I'm just going to tell you one section of it. You need to find out how many people are represented by the entire pie chart. Here I tell you that the section of people who chose red is 9. You can see that that red is 1/3 of the pie chart. So if 1/3 is 9, then the whole thing is 9 people in each section. That's 27 altogether. We could do something similar here. If half of the people chose grey, and that was 21, then there's 21 people on the other half of it. That would be 42 people altogether. What about here? 11 people chose green, so that would be 11 in each section, making 44 altogether. This time, 2 people chose black, so that were 2 people in each of these sections, making the whole pie chart representing 16 people. We can also interpret pie charts that are a bit more advanced than the basic ones we've just looked at. For instance, if the sections are represented by percentages. The pie chart here shows the percentage composition of the human body. For a person weighing 50 kilograms altogether, what is their composition of water? So how much of that weight is water? We can see from the pie chart that 70% of the body is water. So I need to find 70% of that 50 kilograms. We should be able to remember how to do this. So I'm going to change percentage to the decimal. That would be 0.7 and then times it by the 50, which would give me that the water weight is 35. What about proteins then? This time proteins is 16%. So I need to find 16% of that 50 kilogram weight. Again, changing 16% to a decimal is 0.16, and then I can times that by the 50. That would give me the protein weight as 8 kilograms. And finally, the other dry elements we can see from the pie chart is 14%. So I need to find 14% of 50 kilograms. Changing the percentage to a decimal is 0.14. and timesing that by 50 would give me the dry element weight of 7 kilograms. Try having a go at these questions, where the parts of the pie charts are represented as percentages. Read the question carefully to find out what the whole pie chart is representing. Pause the video, and when you're ready for the answers, press play. For question 1 then, we have promotion is £140, printing is £280, paper is £350, binding is £280, and royalties is £210. For the tourist traffic, those going to the UK are 2 million people. Others is 4 million people. Japan is 6 million people, and the USA is 8 million people. Try this last question. Pause the video, and when you're ready, press play for the answers. HP is 90 units. Texas is 120 units. Apple is 210 units. Others make up 450 units, and IBM is 420 units. Now, it's not always given us as percentages when we'd like to find the amount of a section. As a pie chart is created by drawing angles, sometimes the parts are represented as the size of the angles that's representing them. We can still use this to find out the values of each section though. In this pie chart, there are 540 new houses built that's representing the entire pie chart. I've given the angles of some of them, and I want to know how many houses then were built that were of the detached style. In detached, I can see it's got that square which represents a 90-degree angle. Now, the 90-degree angle is out of 360 degrees. The 360 degrees is the whole full turn of the pie chart. So if I multiply that by the 540 houses, which is in the full thing, I get the amount that's the detached house. I can utilise my fraction key on the calculator or simply type 90 divided by 360 and then times by 540. This tells me that there were 135 detached houses. Let's try another. What about semi-detached then? I can see from the pie chart that 120 degrees is representing the semi-detached section. That's 120 degrees out of 360 degrees and multiply by the 540 that the whole pie chart is representing. Again, I can either use my fraction key or simply type in 120 divided by 360 and then times by 540. This tells me that there are 180 semi-detached houses built. And what about bungalows then? Bungalows is 40 degrees. You're probably catching on to the method now. It's 40 degrees out of 360 degrees and times by whatever the whole pie chart is representing. In this case, 540. This gives me that there were 60 bungalows built. How would then I get the terraced number? There are various ways I could do it. I could figure out what the angle is there by taking all of the angles I know away from 360, or I could take away all the amount of bungalows, semi-detached and detached houses I know that were built from the 540. I'm going to demonstrate how to do it using the angle. So let's find out the value of this angle on the pie chart then. I know I've got 40 here, 120 there, and 90 there. So let's add the bits I know. 40 plus the 90 plus 120 gives me an angle of 250, which means the bit that's left over from the full turn must be 110 degrees. So the terraced houses is 110 degrees out of 360 degrees times by the 540 houses in the entire pie chart, which means that there were 165 terraced houses built. Have a go at these questions then, using the size of the angles to calculate the numbers in each section. Pause the video, and when you're ready for the answers, press play. In question 1 then, we have 225 pupils voting for PE, 150 vote for science, and 525 vote for maths. From the cafe, there were 75 soft drinks sold, 75 teas sold, 50 hot chocolates, and 100 coffees. Have a go at these two questions now. Again, pause the video, and when you're ready for the answer, press play. In question 3 then, on Monday, there were 37.5 kilos of butter sold. This was the same on Tuesday. On Wednesday, there was 56.25 kilograms of butter. 75 were sold on Thursday, 62.5 sold on Friday, and 112.5 sold on Saturday. For the train tickets, we have 60 open returns, 20 season tickets, 100 day returns, and 30 travel passes. Have a go at these quick questions. You'll have 5 seconds, but if you do need longer, press play when you're ready for the answers. I want to know how many chose chocolate, which I can see slightly on this diagram is the section with the 36 degrees. So I've got 36 degrees out of 360 degrees times by the 1,200 students, which is represented by the entire pie chart. That would be 120 students. This pie chart shows the favourite animals of 2,700 pupils. How many children is represented by the dogs section? It tells me in the question that the angle of the sector representing dogs is 56 degrees. That's out of 360 degrees and times by the 2,700 children represented by the entire pie chart. This would give me 420. Here we have two pie charts, the medals won by Germany and the medals won by the Russian Federation. Graham says the pie chart shows that Germany won more gold medals than the Russian Federation. Is he right? Okay, so we can see that the gold for Germany is 120 degrees, whereas the gold for the Russian Federation is only 72 degrees. Does this mean then that Germany won more golds? No, it doesn't necessarily. We can't be sure because we do not know how many gold medals are won in total in either country. In fact, we don't know the total medals won by any country. So you could either say B or D is more clear because there's just not enough information to tell either way. The final skill you may need to utilise within the assessment is drawing pie charts. So you're going to be using a protractor to draw and measure the angles on today. I want to display this information in a pie chart. This was the amount of ice cream sold, varying by flavours. First of all, I draw a starting line in my pie chart. That's where I'm going to start by measuring my angle from. Now I need to find out the size of each angle that I'm going to have to draw. So I have 14 people choosing vanilla out of, well, I do need to know. I need to add up all of those flavours. So 14 people chose vanilla, 9 chose mint, 21 had chocolate, 19 had strawberry, and 17, rather randomly, had orange ice cream. So there were 80 altogether. So 14 out of 80 people chose vanilla ice cream. If I wanted to get this as a fraction of the angle of a pie chart, I need to times it by 360 degrees, because a full pie chart is always 360 degrees. This would give me the angle of a pie chart for vanilla as being 63 degrees. I can do the rest of them also. Mint is 9 out of 80, and then times by that 360. Chocolate is 21 out of 80, and then times by the 360. And I could do this as so on. So you have your frequency over the total frequency and times by 360 degrees to get the angle that you would need for each section. It's always times by 360 because the full turn in the pie chart never changes. Here I get 40.5 degrees for mint, which I'm going to round up to 41 degrees. For the chocolate, I have 94.5 degrees, which I'm going to round down to 94 to complement the fact that I've rounded the second one up. For strawberry, I have 85.5. I'm going to round that one up, which means the next one I will round down. 76.5. So I'll put 76 for that one. All of these should add up to 360 degrees. It's always a good idea to check before you start drawing. So, to actually measure the angle then, place your protractor, make sure the centre of it is at the centre point of your pie chart and that the 0 line is going through the line that you've drawn to start. Then measure your first angle. We've got 63 degrees. I'm reading from the 0 up through the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then plus 3 of the little notches on the edge. That's 63 degrees. So that's my vanilla section. I can measure all of the following ones just like that then. Mint, chocolate, strawberry, and finally orange. It's always a good idea to label your pie chart as you draw the sections, just so you're not having to remeasure them to figure out which is which at the end. Let's try one more. Add all of those frequencies, remember, to find the total frequency. So 140 were cars, 70 were motorbikes, 55 were vans, and 5 were buses. That's 270 in total. So to find the cars, I do 140 divided by 270, and again, times it by 360 degrees. The next one for motorbikes would be 70 over 270 times by 360, and so on. Let's figure out what angle is needed for each then. I'd need 187 for cars. For motorbikes, I'd need 93. For vans, I need 73, which means for buses, I need 7. Start with your starting line and place your protractor correctly. I'm measuring the first one as the 93, so that is my motorbike section. I'm then measuring my 73, which is vans. Lastly, I'm doing the buses for just a 7-degree section, which means the remainder is cars. Can you see why I chose not to measure the cars to start with? Yes, it's bigger than 180. It's bigger than my protractor, so I left that one right till the end. Think about this question. 200 people are surveyed about their favourite flavour of crisps. 40 people chose salt and vinegar. If we were to draw a pie chart, what angle would the segment representing salt and vinegar be? So 40 people chose salt and vinegar out of 200. So I'd start that with 40 divided by 200 and times it by 360 degrees, which gives me 72 degrees as the segment for salt and vinegar. A diver wants to make a pie chart of his trip. Which one of these is a correct method for finding F? That would be the degrees for conger eel. Firstly, let's find the total frequency. 9 add 5 add 10 is 24. Conger eels are 10 of those 24. So it would be 10 divided by 24 and times by 360. That would be the method B. That's come to the end of our pie chart section then. We've had a look at interpreting pie charts and also the basics of drawing them. Try the supplementary resources on the Moodle page or the RISE programme to further practice this skill. Thanks for watching.